Alright everyone, it's time for another garden update. First I wanted to show off some of these flowers out here. These are just some wildflowers, Queen Anne's lace, the poppies that came up from last year. There are Nicotiana in here too that are going to be blooming, and then the black-eyed Susans. It's a nice little arrangement. I've got to get another beetle trap today because the other one is now literally full, like it's bloated with beetles. It's pretty bad. I just watered everything like 5 minutes ago, so it's all puffy and happy. You can see these turnips. You can't really see the roots from up here, but I've got to pick every other turnip. Otherwise, they're going to start strangulating each other at some point. These beets on this end are all rooted really nicely. You can see the cabbage is curling in on itself. There's one beetle on there. Go away. Getting some nice curl going in there. These are big, big cabbages, which is great because I can't wait for you know, what you do is you cut it into quarters when it's ready, and then you cook it with ham and, you know, some root vegetables, usually turnip, carrot, potato, just a little bit of seasoning, and that's pretty much all you need. Very New England style meal. That one Brussels sprout's doing well. That'll start to produce very soon. You can see the little center there, it is starting to get ready to put out a stalk. And some of these beets in here are actually ready now, but I'm gonna wait because I want to make pickled beets, actually, like home style. Now, you know, you get them in the store, they get a bunch of corn syrup and shit in them. Just put a very small amount of sweetener in with the vinegar. You don't need any corn syrup. They just add that to everything to get rid of it. It's economic bullshit. You can look at the yummy Swiss chard. It's actually, it's putting out greener leaves now than it did before. Look at that. Happy herbs. Gonna pick tea today later. That tomato in there is beginning to produce, which is hilarious since that came up from the compost. It's going to be funny to see what kind of potato is under here, by the way. And there's a plane going over, you can hear it probably. Some definite pickle in training action going on in there. By the way, fuck you and your plane. Look at that. Nice beans. Each plant will produce several handfuls of good beans in a bad year, and these are spoiled bean plants, so yeah, we'll probably get 3 pickings total. I think you can sort of chop it up after cleaning it and then freeze it, and I think that's probably the best method. I think. I'd rather not really can the beans, you know. Pickled beans, it's like, okay, make a few of them, but how many pickled beans am I actually going to eat? Not that many. These have definitely caught up with where they should be. And then some. These were looking, remember, a little bit scraggly and scrawny at first. Now look at them, they're beautiful plants. These tomatoes over here, I mean, the path is going to become impassable. I didn't stake it up enough. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. I guess I'll have to amputate that limb or something. They're loaded with fruit too. I mean, I'm telling you though, I'm pretty sure this is aroma that got thrown into the wrong container by mistake. I'm pretty sure that's aroma, which is both good and bad. It's good in the sense that it's good for making sauce, bad in the sense that if these had hybridized, it would have been fine. They both would have been like cherry and grape, but I'm thinking it's not a grape tomato. There's some cucumbers in there. I'm not going to wade all the way over there to get them. There's another zucchini in there that's, you know, huge and ready. Some more are coming, 2 or 3 there, 2 or 3 on the other side. These pumpkinis, there's a couple of those that are ready, just for decor, basically. And look at the size of these pepper plants. They're doing pretty well. You know, there's still another week in this month. Those ones on the end are basically ready. The sweet bananas and the bells almost. There's so much going on here. This is now big. It's getting up towards 8 feet now, this sunflower. I'm pretty sure it is one of the larger ones. Even if not, even if all these little stems start forming flowers, it's going to be quite something. I'm going to try to harvest mustard seed this year as well from these plants, these mustard plants. Make our own mustard. Probably won't get much of it. I mean, you need quite a few mustard plants. Harvesting the seeds is not an easy task. The problem is that right around the time that they're ready to harvest is also when the pods will split open and they'll just spill everywhere. That's why there are mustard plants everywhere. See, this whole end was, you know, there were a lot of them in there. I had to destroy most of them this year. All sorts of tea in there ready to be drunk. Blue Hubbard still hasn't produced any actual squash. I think that little yellow one may be down there, but that one might rot too. Might be wilt related. I'm not 100% sure. I've had trouble with winter squash in the past. All the carrots in here are looking great. You can see some of them in there. Nice orange roots sticking up out of the ground. They're probably more or less ready, but I'm going to wait a couple more weeks. I don't mind if they get huge, because those will probably end up being mostly canned as well. This setup this year, I hadn't anticipated some changes in my life with regards to crop usage, basically. So I'll be massively expanding. The whole garden may end up moving as well. Like this central area would stay the same. It'd be a huge clump of flowers. I'm thinking about moving more or less the entire garden. I would have probably people come in and create the beds for me at that point, put in new fill, no weeds, no problems of any kind. I know the kind of mix that I use. You add some hardwood lump charcoal to it, hugelkulture it a bit, add lots of azomite, a few other things, some layered, forest debris essentially. All sorts of stuff to be done. By the way, the pale tan lilies are now just barely beginning to blossom. I'll slap a picture of that probably on Minds later. You should be following me on Minds.com as well. Styxhexenhammer there as well. I am wherever I go. Look how green it is. This is like peak greenness at the moment. The garden is doing so much better than literally ever before. The peaches are starting to form on top of the tree, but I'm not going to be able to show them to you. I'd have to get up there with a ladder probably to get at them. I'll figure out what I can do. That's about all. Peace out.